Okay, so in this project, we are discussing about module pool programming. And in the module pool programming project that we are doing right now, what we have to do is we need to create two screens. The first screen will have the username and password. The second screen will just have a congrats screen wherein you just move to that screen. So this happens to be, according to our plan, we have this screen, first screen has 100 and the second screen has 200. Now, from screen 1 to screen 100, how do we actually navigate is what we are focusing on this. And here it also have to validate the username and password. Only if the username and password are correct, it will go to the next screen. Otherwise, it will not go. So this is a simple example in which we are going to create two screens. So let me log in into the SAP system and then start doing it. So here I'm logging into AC38 and let me create a program like ZVA underscore login. Okay, login, create login details or login screen with second screen. So we are also understanding how do we go from one screen to another screen. This is also something which is very important. In this, we'll select this as module pool programming and say save. And then we'll click on the project. We already have a project here. Say OK. And once it's been created, we will just create two variables here. Data, we have uname of length 10 and then keyword, that's password of length 10. You can have your own names for the variables and I'm keeping the field username and password both as 10 characters and we are just activating it. That's it. We don't have to do anything else in this AC38 and we need to copy this program and make sure that you come out of the program when you're creating SC51 screens. Okay, in SC51 screen, we need to give this login details 100 create, then we have login screen, then we have to go for flow logic, and in the flow logic uncomment this one and uncomment this one, and then we go for save and go to the layout, click on the layout. So in the layout we need to click on this button, dictionary fields, and in this we will get the pop-up. In the pop-up you just type get from program and you select these two fields, username and password both, say OK and paste it here. You can also later, once you paste it here, you can also keep them at a distance as well. And then you go for this text here, text one. So the text one I'll give here as text one. Here also you can enter, and this is username, and then text to password, text to password, save it, and then we have to click on save button. So this is PB1 and this is not save, enter, enter, and I'll give the FCT code as ENT, and save it, and then we have again another push button here, exit, PB2, exit, here we'll write as EXT, save, save, and activate. Okay, when we are activating it, it might take some time. I just have this pop-up, say OK. Now this is the one. So double click on this status 100 and create it in the program, in the main program actually. Just say OK and this got created. Save it, back again, and here double click on the next one, process after input, say yes, and in the main program and say OK, and this is also done. Save. Now these two are successfully done here, and we go ahead with here save. So here we will go ahead with this is done. Now here when we say case SYUCOM, SYUCOM happens to be the value of the field on which we click. So this is the FCT code. So whatever FCT code we wrote that is what we need to mention here. And the FCT code happens to be the FCT code that we have here is for enter command ENT, then call screen 200, call screen 200. Call screen 200, and this 200 screen have to be created by us. We need to create that. And when ext leave program, here we'll go for leave program if you're ext. So now when we say call screen 200, either we can create it from here, or we can go to the SE51 and do it. Now that we have done it earlier, so I'll double click on this 200 and it will directly take us to the 200 screen. It will create a 200 screen and take us there. So this is the second screen, and then we go to the flow logic, uncomment this flow logic, here also uncomment the flow logic, click on the layout, and here we'll give a simple text, text1, congrats, congrats, you logged in, congrats, you logged in, that's it. And now we will write this in this, you can see the text here as well, and click on the push button here. So this is ext pb1 exit, here we have ext, save, back, and now activate this, back, and now here we need to you know use those things. Okay, so we need to double click on this module, say yes, do you want to create? Yes. In the main program, yes. So in projects they will recommend you to go for include programs. What is include program, how do we do it in the include program, and when do we do it? Those things also we'll discuss in the coming projects, but here we'll go ahead with this one, and then we'll go for save, back again, then module command, say yes, here main program, say okay. This is what we have. Save. Now in this input we'll go for case SYUCOM indicate when ext leave program, when ext leave program, save, syntax check, activate, back, and this also is active, back. So we have this, and then we'll go back, then back again, and now we have to create a transaction code for this. So this is the program name. We'll just copy the program, and then we will go ahead into SC93 transaction, and in the SC93 transaction we'll create say something like ZVA log, create for logging in, and say okay, give the program name, and you should give that screen 100. So when you give screen 100, you have the only choice to go to 200 is to through 100. We cannot call it directly. So we are not calling it directly. So 200 screen will never be called unless and until we log in from the 100 screen. Now this has been done. So we can go for ZVA log. No, one thing that we have to write is that program. Let me check if I wrote the program in the input. So in the login screen, when I click on enter, ENT, there should be some input here. But for call screen, we need to write a condition here that if uname equal to Aditya and keyword equal to India, only then you have to go to the call screen. Otherwise, okay, this is a condition actually. So this is the condition it will check and end if. Okay, and if and else part. So if in this else part is there, so else part else. Okay, else. What you can do here is if in else. Else message A00015. Let me check that 014 or 015. Message ID ZVA underscore MSG, which is already there. So let me go into that and go to the messages. And in the messages we have it should be 015. Duplicate data could not update. No. We need to write this 16 username and password is incorrect. This is the message that gets populated. It should be 016. There should be 016. Save syntax. Now once it's been done, the ZVA login SE93. We already have that ZVA login. ZVA log. So in this will give us Aditya and password is India. Enter. Just a minute. Now here we have this and we click on this exit. So exit will come out. Okay, let us check with a wrong username and password. Let's see how will it be. ZVA log. And in this we have something like Vikram and India. So we didn't maintain this username and password. When you click on enter, it clearly shows us a pop-up saying that username and password is incorrect. And when you say exit, it will exit from the screen. This is the project. Okay. So in this project, we are creating two screens and then we are actually moving from one screen to another screen. So the two screens happen to be 100 and 200. It is not mandatory for us to go for 100 and 200 number only, but it's a general practice to do that. Right. So this happens to be a project in which we have designed two screens. We have designed two screens and then we have designed two screens, 100 screen where you are giving username and password, and then we have the second screen in which we are giving the congrats screen. Now we can do whatever we want in the second screen. So in the going forward in the coming project, we are going to design a different screen in the second screen. We're going to write a different one in the second screen. And module pool program, we have a lot of other projects which we are going to do in this. And later what we can design is we can build a database table which has all the usernames and passwords. It needs to select that all data and keep it somewhere. Check if the username and password which we are given is matching with that username and password, because there might be 100 username and passwords. So you need to update that username and passwords in the database table, and that needs to be used here, and we need to check for that. So this is all that again becomes another project which we are going to discuss in the future. So I hope this simple project, if you are perfect, then you can understand how to go from one screen to another screen. That's the first point. Second point is how to validate the input user inputs. That's it.